receiving and releasing and receiving and releasing. And we'll be doing that too. It's just not release, 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 because we always want to follow it with that complementary position. But I am going to focus on that word release, and so that you'll know when we're doing that in our practice. And the reason for that is we are now in the last quarter moon. And so that's all about releasing, right? We've built up and we've got to that full moon energy and that abundance, and then we start to taper off and look what it is that we might want to let go of. So I'm just going to do a little reading. This is from a book called Prayers to the Goddess. It's a moon cycle devotion by a couple friends of mine, Genevieve Chavez Mitchell and Ann Key. And it has a reading for every day of the lunar cycle. And then it has a morning, so it's an overall reading, then it has a morning kind of reading, prayer, poem, and then an evening reading, prayer, poem, and then it goes to the next day in the lunar cycle. And so anyways, I'm gonna take a little read through that. When I start, before I start, let's get in the really comfortable position, working with elongating your spine, working to make sure that we're breathing through our nose, all right? Got that tape available and you need to cover the mouth up, anything that's going to keep you breathing in and out through your nose, which is that calming breath, right? Breathing through our mouth is that excitable breath that keeps us anxious. So let's go ahead and close the lips. Take your tongue away from your mouth. Start to release the muscles in your face, neck, and shoulders, but maintaining again that upright position. Eyes can close. As you get into some deep belly breaths, extending that belly outward on an inhale. So you've got to really inhale deeply through your nose, feeling that expansiveness, and then exhaling through your nose. And today, because we're looking at releasing and we're feeling that, maybe focus that you are going to take at least, if not 1 or 2 seconds more in your exhale to really just let go of heaviness, let go of the things that are holding us back. There's a saying says, there's no reason to carry the dead on the branches of our tree of life, right? So let's get rid of that heaviness. Begin with your breathing, eyes closed, and I'll do our little reading here. Last quarter moon. At the last quarter moon, the moon is half lit tonight. She rises around midnight and sets around noon. I just looked and saw her a bit ago. Look for her this morning overhead and later in the western sky. Just as the moon, your deep subconscious glows during the morning hours of the day. Think about what is deep within you, what genuine part of yourself you can bring forth into the light. Some qualities in you may have remained dormant up until now, held back possibly by low self-esteem or fear or failure. Now is the time to breathe deeply and dissolve the restraints that prevent you from fully developing your gifts. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. A universe of beings surrounds you, each seeking their own happiness, each struggling to meet the challenges of life. Whether you choose it or not, when you let your true light shine, you are a beacon for others. So in our releasing of our light, we're assisting others to have a view of themselves as well. And then just the inspirational reading for the morning of this last quarter moon. It's called Unfurled. Facing the light of dawn, I spread my arms wide. We will do that in our practice today. My branches are strong, my leaves unfurled. I am part of the grand cosmos. My feet planted deep within the earth, my head reaching the heavens. So check into your posture right now. Do you have your feet planted deeply in the earth? Is the crown reaching up towards the heavens? We use that expression a lot in our yoga. I unite the above and the below, and I bring life, love, and beauty to this earthly plane. So continue just with maybe 4 more full, slow, deep breaths here. Find your nice straight spine. Find your mouth closed. Your nostrils open. Your exhale may be a little bit longer than your inhale. And then we'll begin. We're going to begin this release by releasing a lot in our joints, because our joints hold tension. Our joints hold stagnant energy. All right, so let's begin by just taking and letting our chin fall gently towards our chest. And you should feel that radiating out both sides of your neck. From up at the ears, down into the shoulders. I'm keeping my spine straight, okay? Because I know that's a 10-pound bowling ball that's coming forward. So I don't want to bring my body weight forward. I want to maintain my upright spine, but really let my chin come towards, if not on my chest, pulling down my shoulders, releasing the stress that so many of us, especially women, we ride that on our shoulders. So let your shoulders melt down and away. Keeping your sits bones pushing down into the ground. And now slowly, slowly bring your chin back to the plane of being parallel to the ground. Okay, spine straight. And then let's go ahead and lift our chin to an angle that feels right for you, so that you're not over compressing into the back of your neck, so that you're not hyperextending and feeling that you can hardly breathe because your trachea is bent back so much. Still staying straight in your spine, looking up, looking back into your eye sockets. Just letting your head come back and release to the point that is just right for you. And are you breathing through your nose? Are you accentuating your exhale? And on your next exhale, slowly begin to bring your head back into a neutral place. And now we're going to let our right ear just fall towards our right shoulder. You're going to feel this left shoulder pulling up, pull it down, okay? And just let that heavy bowling ball be curving over towards the right, not pressing, okay, and forcing this. Let gravity be your friend here, but do bring some energy into letting this left shoulder settle down. Breathing in deep, slow. Next inhale, slowly, slowly lift your head back up into that center. You're going to feel a little uneven here. So let's even that out by taking left ear just down towards your left shoulder. That right shoulder wants to pull up, pull it down. Everything should be straight here till we get to our neck, and then we've tipped it to the left. And we have our tongue away from our mouth. I'm going to keep repeating those things. And we're breathing through our nose. We're relaxing our facial muscles. We're taking that exhale a second or two longer than the inhale. Find your spine nice and long. Slowly on an inhale, begin to bring your neck back up in alignment so that everything is nice and straight. And you guys can see with the Zoom platform, it's nice because you have that reflection and you can check back into yourself. It's like having your own mirror, private mirror. Okay, now we're going to take our chin over towards our right shoulder and let it drop down. Follow through a half circle, forward only, not back, all right? And then lift it over on the left side. And then repeat, exhale slowly. Let everything release here. Oh, feel that in the back. Lifting on an inhale. When you come over to the opposite side, you guys keep going. This is a flow. This is matching breath to movement. Maybe you're feeling some of those little, I don't know what they're called, kind of like prickly, crackly sounds in the back of your neck. Let's do 2 more cycles. Remember that slow exhale as you pass through the center and you switch from side to side. Inhale when you reach to the other side. This is slow. We're starting off real slow today. We'll add more here very soon. So maybe one of the things I need to release, and I speak for myself, is impatience. And then go ahead and lift your chin up. Just take 2 breaths here, finding your head nicely balanced after that nice opening and releasing through our neck. Our shoulders. Let's do a little bit more in the shoulders here. Pulling them forward and inhale them up. Exhale, pull them back, squeeze them together, let them come down. And again, that is a little longer than this part. Inhale. And keep going. Let's take those shoulders into the joint there, where we hold on. And now it's time to let go. All right, let's take it back. Pull back, squeeze up, and round forward on your exhale. Pay attention to your spine. Are you staying nicely elongated? Feet still continuously connected to the earth plane. Sits bones connected to your chair plane. Crown of your head connected to the heavens. Let's do one more. And now let's squeeze up shoulders really strongly here. Squeeze. I'm going to push into my top of my thighs to squeeze up a little bit more. I'm squeezing into that trapezius muscle. Oh yeah. Where we might have a good massage therapist going deep there into that muscle because we are holding a lot of our tension there. Let's lift a little bit more on an inhale. When we exhale, we're going to exhale through our mouth and make a sound. Inhale. Open your mouth. Let it release. Let's do that again. Inhale. And we're going to squeeze here, pushing down, hands into my thighs, and just squeezing up there. Yep, that feels good. Squeezing, 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 inhaling. Let it go through your mouth. Good. One more thing for our shoulders again, because we just hold so much here. Go ahead and lift left shoulder up really high. Let the right one come down. So you're going to feel that opening right in there. Lift that one up. Feeling really awkward here. And then slowly letting that left shoulder come down. Let it be weighted down low away from your left earlobe. And then raise the right one up. And we're going to squeeze in there. Squeezing in the trapezius. Bringing that right shoulder up as we pull the left one down. Feel that opposition. And then slowly exhale, long exhale through the nose. Right shoulder down. Let's do that one more time each side. Left lifts up. And we bring it up tight. And bring that right one down. Exhale, releasing slowly. Left comes really low there. Right pulls up. Push down into your right thigh. Really lifting up. Let that left shoulder come down. And exhale, slowly bring it back down. Good. So we've done a lot from here up. Let's go ahead and work in our center and our hips. Let's take some circles here. Hold onto your knees. Coming around. Working with breath. This is my inhale. Long exhale. Switching direction. Find your lips sealed. One more cycle. And then bringing ourselves up. Let's shift our upper body to the right, back to center, shift it to the left. We're doing this all through the waist here, back to the center, shift to the right, center, back and forth. A little bit of isolation work here. Shifting, chest over. And coming back into center here. And let's go ahead and start working with our arms and our hands and our fingers. I want you to open up really wide here. Open up the fingers wide into a real releasing mode here. And I'm going to lift my arms up high. Inhale. Reaching high into the sky. Lengthening both sides of my body. And then I want to come into fists, strong fists. Feel, where did you feel that? I felt that into my bicep, my tricep. And then I'm going to take strong fists, pushing outward, bringing my arms down. Feeling what that's like to hold on to stuff. You could change that stuff word to another word, but we'll use stuff. And then exhale, release your fingers. Feel how freeing that is. Rise up, hands come up. Fingers extend high. Maybe look up. See how nice and open your neck is and your shoulders are after all that we did there. Lengthen on an inhale. Exhale, squeeze into fists. Make them strong, really strong here. And begin to lower. Hold on to whatever that is. Feel how heavy it is. Feel how you want to let it go. Once you get down here, exhale and release it through your fingers. And now let's go ahead and release through our wrist joints by making circles. And let's find ourselves working our way up here to wherever your shoulders may go. And again, your shoulders might be really happy right now after the work we did. And I'm hearing a lot of clicks going on with my wrist, especially my left. I'm left-handed. So this will help me to get those little bits of that stagnant energy and just release it when I hear those little clicks and those little pops. And I take my hands on down. And again, sitting straight and tall in mountain pose here. Let's take a couple breaths and just feel the energy that we've created already in our arms and in our hands. Now we're going to slide down the front right leg of the chair. Left arm comes up first though. And let's take ourselves in a controlled motion, coming over and letting my arm extend bicep by my ear. And I'm coming straight over into my right waistline. I'm breathing, holding into my belly here. And then letting myself come back up slowly. Reaching through my fingertips upward, my other ones downward. Separate, 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 and exhale. Let's release. There's that word again, releasing the left hand down. And feel the difference, how one side feels so active and the other is short and kind of like wants to do something, right? Because it's just been hanging there. Let's hold on now with our left hand to the chair leg. Lift your right arm up because it wants some action too. And we're going to open up that right side body. Push down solidly into your sits bones. Lift and lengthen through your right side. Right fingers open. And then begin by pulling in at your navel first. And then taking that side bend into your obliques. Holding on so you don't come down too low. All right? Only to the point that feels right for you. Go back on your upper shoulder. Exhaling as you lower down. And sliding back up. Maintaining connection there. Fingers on the left side pull down. Right ones pull up. Still breathing through my nose. And exhale. Let my right arm come floating down. Just floating down. And feeling myself nicely aligned here. Nicely lengthened on both sides of my body. Feels really good. And we're going to go ahead and take our left foot center, right knee over left, if that's available to you. If not, please take your foot and lower it a little bit more on your shin. Would be your left shin, and sit up straight and tall. And let's go ahead and open up that ankle. That would be my right ankle that I'm taking and making circles with. Still breathing out of my nose and trying to work on that releasing of the exhale a little bit more than the inhale. And continue then with the opposite direction of your ankle. And then coming to stillness with a straight spine. Check into your sits bones here. And we're going to do a twist. My right knee's on top, my left hand is crossing over, maybe to my left knee or my right knee. Find where your arm will go to maintain a straight spine. So I don't want you to come forward to try to do this, okay? Keep that straight spine. And take your right hand behind you. Push down right behind your tailbone. And then begin to take your twist slowly, easily, from waist up to your gaze. And you continue breathing here. Activating length with your inhale and depth with your exhale. And then taking our head, turning it forward, shoulders, ribs, and waist come. And sitting up straight and tall here. And now let's work in the knee joint area. So hold on to the chair, take your top leg off, and we're just going to go ahead and make big kind of circles with our lower leg, working into the knee there. But guess what? We're also working into our core by doing this, right? Even though we're holding on here. And let's reverse. Reverse that. And it's knee work, it's hip work. Then coming to stillness, picking up your knee, extending out, bringing your knee up, extending out, knee up, extend out, feeling it right here, trying to maintain that upright spine. One more, please. And place your right foot down. Let's sit up in mountain before we switch sides, and let's take a few breaths here. All right, guys. And then let's go ahead and take our right foot towards the center a bit and let our left knee cross over on top of our right thigh, or maybe your left leg is down a little bit farther. Find what works for you. And sitting up straight and tall here. Let's go ahead and begin the flexion and the extension and the rotation of our left ankle now. Just contemplating in the quiet time between transitions from one asana or move to the other. Go ahead and reverse that. Contemplating what it is, maybe just one thing that we're ready to let go of. It could be an actual thing, right? It could be something in our home that it's time to release. It could be a habit that it's time to work on. It could be a relationship that's time to let go of. It could be just something about us that we would like to release so that we can open up ourselves to a more positive experience in our lives. And then coming to stillness here, we're going to go ahead into our twist. So my right hand is crossing maybe over to my bottom right leg. And my left hand is coming behind me, and I'm sitting up nice and straight and tall. And I'm going to begin that twist from my waist, through my ribs, up into my chest, working into the shoulder, working into the neck, working into my gaze, taking my gaze into my eye socket, way far to the left. Then I'm breathing through my nose. Well, I'm not always breathing through my nose because I'm busy yapping. If you guys can just be nice and quiet there, take your breath slowly in and out through your nose. And then my head releases, shoulders, and I come back into a forward seated position here. I'm going to take my top leg off, and I'm going to go ahead and begin some circles here. So my knee is getting activated along with my hip. Feel that in your hip. And we're also activating the core. Try not to lean back. I know that's hard. Try to bring yourself up. And let's reverse that motion. Hold on here if you tend to be falling backwards into the back of your chair. And then let's pick up the knee. Extend it out. Bring it in. Take it out. And your foot can be flexed or pointed. Trying to maintain that height even when I extend out. My body wants to go back. Just try to maintain it here. Nice and straight. Feel that right there. Oh yeah. Bring it up. And set your foot down. And let's find grace and peace and quiet here in mountain for a few breaths. I'd like to work today in Warrior One. In order to really find and work on ourselves, and what that is, we are ready to let go of. We have to be strong. We have to be focused. We have to have that warrior spirit. So in Warrior One also, what's beautiful is that we offer our hearts, and then we also offer our humility. And that is often too what is needed, right? You can do some mirror work where you're looking at the mirror and you can make 4 statements. One is looking at yourself, saying, I am sorry. I'm sorry for something within myself, and I'm telling myself that. And the second thing is, I forgive you. I look at myself, I tell myself that. The third thing is, thank you, I appreciate you. And the fourth thing, real important, is I love you. So we do these 4 things for ourselves in this mirror work, so that we're able then to do that for others. How difficult that can be sometimes to say I'm sorry. To say I'm sorry to others, to say I'm sorry to myself. And boy, it feels refreshing when we can really do that. And we can move past our ego that stands in the way of that, asking for forgiveness and saying I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and take our right leg to the right knee to the right foot to the right, okay? And I'm going to show you a few different ways to work this leg. You can have it exactly right here, okay? Just so we're kind of in an open V position, only we are at an angle in our chair. That's one way to do it. The other way would be to take the block down and place your shin on that block, okay? We're trying to get our hips more forward than to the side. The side when we're working on Warrior 2. Warrior 1, we want them more forward. Or you can take the block away, extend your back leg back, and take it into a 45-degree angle with your foot, all right? So that means it's not toes pointing towards me. Their toes are moving towards the front a little bit, and my body comes forward. So try it any one of those ways. And once you have your lower body ready, let's go ahead and lift up our arms. Both arms rising up, making our fingers extend and expand into that. I am releasing and letting go. But you notice when we release and let go, we're also opening up ourselves to grandeur, to some beauty here. Push back into that back foot or onto the block. Okay. Here I am, or onto just the flat side of your foot. Let's stay here and breathe a bit. Just doing this is really strengthening. And we also are practicing our patience. Extending arms long. Breathing through our nose. Next exhale, take your hands behind you. Interlace. Squeeze shoulders together and take your arms away, hands away from the base of your spine. Or if this is enough, just stay right here, okay? But if you can, you start to extend your arms long. And what does that do? It brings the shoulders together. That lets your heart rise up. And then take your chin up with that as well. And stay here. Nicely, heart exposed. Initiating our release here by lightening up through our heart space. pull it at your belly. Let yourself come back so there's no more curve in your spine right now. And then I'm going to take my shoulders and I'm going to take them in a diagonal a bit here. I'm going to pull in at my belly. Now, this is where some of you may want to release your hands to the back side of your hips, or maybe hold on here at your belly because we're going to come forward. This is a great place for a block because you can take the block at any height and allow yourself to have support as you take your head down into humble warrior. Remember, the block has 3 sides. Maybe I can take my forehead to the tall side of the block. If you don't have a block, you're holding down with your hands on the ground, or you're holding with your hands here behind you. Okay? So you've got all those things that you can do, only listening to what is best for your body. So I'm showing you with my arms lifted, my head down. I'm going to show you here what it's like to just be halfway up, if that's enough for you, or your hands here. Showing you what it's like to use my hands on the ground, to bend my elbows and maybe use the block at any height. The idea here is let's lower our heads down, bowing, if you'd like to use that term, bowing our heads down, releasing and letting go of ego. Wherever I go, ego follows. And I want to gently cut that cord. And then rising back up, either by pushing your hands through the ground or on the block, or taking your hands behind you and lifting yourself up here. Take your shoulders back forward, squeeze them together, look up again. Coming back to perpendicular, arms rise up. And exhale, take them into cactus or Trident Mudra. Let your heart come up again. Inhale, lift. Exhale. 2 more times. And breathing through my nose. Rise up. Exhale, hands come down. Bring in, if you have that back leg extended, bring it in. Take that foot flat. Or you may have kept it this way all the time. Or you may have had it on the block. Please make sure you're doing what's right for you, not necessarily what I'm demonstrating, okay? I am trying to demonstrate all varieties there, so you can pick and choose, okay? Please do that. All right, it's time to move into the opposite direction. So take your left leg, left foot, left toes to the left side of your chair. And that right leg will either stay here, nicely opened. Okay, so you've got this good open hip area here. Or you can take it onto the block. And resting right there on the block. Okay. Right here. 4. We take that leg back. We might have to adjust ourselves a little bit on the chair. And take that foot out a bit and take it at a 45-degree angle. If that's a lot to hold it into 45 and you need to take it into 90, you can do that. Work and see what's right for you. But if you separate your feet away from one another a little bit more, you're going to maybe be able to feel that 45-degree angle. My shoulders and my hips come forward, okay, more than they are to the side. take my hands to my hips and just kind of work them that way. I'm going to release my arms up. I'm going to, whatever part of my body is connected to the earth, I want to push in. Whatever part is connected to a block or the chair, I want to solidly connect there. Opening up my fingers really wide here. Expressing myself in this beautiful Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 here. Being strong in our warriors so that we can be strong in our releasing. A few more breaths here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take your hands down. Interlace maybe in the opposite, less comfortable way, right at the base of your spine. If that's a lot for you, then your hands can just remain here on your hips, okay? So here we are. I'm going to push my hands together and my shoulders together. And I'm going to begin to start to lift up, looking up, pressing into my feet, into the ground, or my shin into the block. My feet, wherever they are, back of my thigh into the chair. Heart rises, squeezing shoulder blades together or releasing hands to your hips. To keep the heart open. Head only goes back as far as you want to let it go, as you are safely letting it go. Squeeze shoulders. Breathing through your nose. Exhale longer than your inhale. Slowly rising up with your torso and taking the shoulders at an angle here. I'm going to come into humble warrior on this side. Again, hands can stay here, right behind us, or they can come to our hips, or you can take one hand on top of your thigh, reach for your block with the other hand, and start to take yourself down safely here, pulling in at your navel. Or you have your hands connecting to the ground. You have long enough arms and the flexibility to do that. And you let yourself release downward. Or you may have kept your hands here, the base, slowly bringing yourself down and letting your shoulders squeeze. So many ways of going into this. And the only way for you is the safe way. The way that's going to keep you healthy, injury-free, the way to be. We're letting everything go here. Let it pour out of the crown of your head like a pitcher. Pitcher that's pouring out. Something that's gone rancid, something that's bad that we don't want anymore. Releasing, letting it go. Cleansing. Pulling in at our navel. Hands at your hips. Hands down. Hands on the block. Hands behind you. Belly strong, no matter where you are. Bringing yourself back up. Shoulders squeeze. Let's look up. And releasing hands. Arms come up. Inhale, lengthen both sides of the body. Push down and through your feet. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Bend into the elbows. 3 more times. Arms reach up on an inhale. And exhale, hands come down. And find yourself seated with both legs on the left side of your chair. And find your knees and your ankles in alignment here. Sitting up straight and tall. Let's do cat-cow here. Hold onto your knees. Take your heart forward. Inhale. Exhale. Keep your hands on your knees or let them slide down a bit onto your shins as you round into cat. Exhaling through your nose a little bit longer than that inhale when we rise into mooing cow. Keep going. Let's do 2 more, please. That's 2 more sets. So that was 1. It's my second set. And let's take our hands and let them slide down our shins to our feet, or maybe to a block. Pull in at your navel. Find what your back is going to allow you to do into a forward fold here. Safely. Pull in at the belly. Make it strong there as you're hanging in this inversion, in this forward fold. And we're going to be like Raggedy Ann or Raggedy Andy, and we're going to just let ourselves come up vertebrae by vertebrae, sliding our hands back up our shins to our knees and onto our thighs, and then lift our chin up. Sit in mountain and breathe. Good. And let's take a twist here. So take both hands to the back of your chair and then just begin to take yourself around, trying to keep your knees moving, staying forward. Take your twist. You might feel you can go a little bit deeper here than the twist we did earlier. Utilize the chair as a tool to assist in a little bit more maybe in your twist. You'll know what you want. Slowly begin to reverse out of that. And let's take ourselves to the other side of the chair. Take your block with you if that's something that you've been utilizing as a really good tool. And let's find ourselves in our seated mountain pose and knees and ankles in alignment here. Let's begin this side with cat and cow. So holding on here onto my knees, inhale and exhale. Keep it. Getting warm out here. 2 more cycles. And on the other side, we held that forward fold. On this side, I want you to hold that heart opening here. Holding on to your knees, you can take your hands behind you into like a camel by pushing down into your hip area, pulling shoulders and elbows together, looking up, reversing that forward fold with an open happy heart. Making room for goodness to grow. Release. Let go of at least one thing during this last quarter moon, waning moon, and then bringing yourself upright, sitting in mountain. And let's take a twist in the opposite direction. So I'm going to hold on to the chair. I'm going to keep my knees forward. And I'm going to begin that twist over my back shoulder, finding this in my waistline here, my obliques. Are you breathing through your nose? And you make your exhale just a little bit longer than your inhale. And let us begin to release out of that in a nice, safe way. Sitting in mountain, 2 breaths. And then let's take ourselves around to the front here. And we're going to open up into wide-legged. And I want to find my hands on the front of the chair. And I'm going to take myself onto the balls of my feet and really rise up high off of my heels, onto the balls of those feet. And then come on down here. Once I'm flat-footed, hold on here, but just lift your seat out of the chair. So you're still holding on, coming into flat spine, looking straight down, but your seat is out of the chair. And then bend into your knees. Bring your seat back into the chair. And hold on here. Let your heart open. Lean back. Coming forward here. Let's take ourselves back onto the balls of our feet and the heels rise up. Push down solidly. Heels down. Flat feet. Rise on up. Straighten your legs. Straighten your spine. Find yourself in this nice parallel position with your upper body to the ground. Bend into your knees. Keep holding onto the chair so it doesn't go anywhere, okay? Hold on there. Lean back. Let your heart open. Coming back forward. Do that one more time. Lift high onto the balls of your feet. Press down there. Pull out into your hips a little bit more. Really press. Pulling at the chair to help that compression and that pressure on the balls of your feet. Heels down. Take yourself forward. Let yourself lift out of the chair. Find yourself in a flat spine. Keep holding on to the chair. Bend into your legs. Take your spine back perpendicular to the ground. One more time. Offer our hearts. Bring ourselves forward. Take your hands on your knees, left, and then maybe bring yourself so that you're really towards the front of your chair there, but don't lose the chair from underneath you. And let's take the left shoulder forward and the right shoulder back. And let's look into the back there, into another twist. Twists are a really good way of releasing too. Releasing, cleansing through our digestive system. That's where we hold a lot of our gunk, a lot of this stuff that needs to get out, okay? So bringing ourselves forward. Let's take the right shoulder forward, the left back. Pressing into my knees, into the top of my thighs here. And then bringing myself back. And walk my legs in just a little bit more so I don't have quite the same wide opening as I had before. We're just going to do our eagle with our arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right under left. Because this is really good for releasing in the joints of our upper body. Let's take 2 circles in one direction. Using breath. 2 circles in the opposite direction. Good. Raise it up high. Bring in your belly. And teeter-totter forward. Come as low as your body will allow. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Rise up high. Exhale, teeter-totter forward. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull in your navel. Una vez más, por favor. And exhale. Rising on up. Releasing arms. All the way up. Exhale into Trident Mudra. Open up your heart. Yep. And lift up. Inhale. Lengthen both sides. And left under right. Find your really beautiful arms here interlocked. Inhale, lift, and 2 circles in one direction. And 2 circles in the opposite direction. Lift up high. Pull in at the navel. Clock yourself forward. Exhale. Inhale, and you're holding onto your belly, please. Okay, because we're coming into that inversion, that forward fold. Inhale. 2 veces más. And rising up. Ooh, exhale, arms release. Arms up. Exhale, hands come into right here at your heart center. Let's walk our feet in so that we're coming into our mountain pose with our legs and our feet. Hips distance, hands at heart. Knowing that we are strong enough to find the expressions that we need of releasing, letting go, so that we can build in the beauty and create space for more positivity. Keep your eye on the moon. She has a lot of stories to tell us. Keep your eye on your own heart space as well. Listen to it, believe in it, clear it and free it from my heart to yours. Thank you all for being here. Namaste.